Hey y'all, can you hear me? Press one if you can hear me. Why it look like it froze? What? Oh, I can get rid of that. I'm live. Can you hear? Oh, you can hear me? Hey y'all. StreamYard's kind of slow acting though. Happy New Year, y'all. We gotta do it up big this year. So I hope y'all ready. Did everybody have a good holiday? Holiday. Celebrate. Everybody's celebrating Cat Williams right now, except for me. But I'm gonna try to be fair though. I'm not, I am kind of biased against Virgo men, but I'm gonna try to be fair. I'm gonna try to not let my bias interfere with me giving a fair reading, a fair and balanced reading. Thank you, Scarred Owl. Let's see who we got up in here. We got Scarred Owl, Diggable Planet, what's up? Contemplating Key, what's up? Hey, Ellie, hey, Asia. Tiana Tara, what's up? Hey, Abu. Abu, you still got to send me your questions for the 2024 reading. So, anybody in here that is attending my New Year's Eve party, if you haven't submitted your questions for the 2024 tarot reading, make sure you do that after this live stream. Hey, Derek. I'm doing good. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Helen. Hey, New Eyes. You said, let me take a nap now. Well, it's time to wake up, girl. Hey, Hannah. Hey, Christina. Hey, Danny. So, yeah, we're going to wait for this room to fill up more. But I'm sure a lot of y'all saw some of that interview, if not all of it. That was a long ass interview. Honestly, I tried to get through the whole thing before this live stream. I'll say I got through at least an hour and a half of that interview. So I feel like I was able to get the gist of it. But that man can talk. But Virgo can talk, period. I mean, they will talk nonstop. Just like Gemini. I mean, Gemini has them beat with the talking, but Virgo comes in a close second. Especially when it comes to airing grievances or discussing gripes, which he definitely did. He definitely aired some grievances. He definitely had some gripes. And I mean, I'm glad he got it off his chest. I just feel like he could have went about it in a more classier way. That's my whole issue with Cat Williams. But again, he's a Virgo, and Virgos sometimes they don't understand that there's a way to go about things when it comes to airing your grievances. Hey, King of Wands, how you doing? Ellie said Virgos love yapping and whining. And yes, he was doing a lot of yapping. I won't say he was whining, but he was doing a lot of yapping, just like a little chihuahua. And come to think of it, I always say he looked like a drowned rat, but he actually looks like a little chihuahua too. A little aggressive chihuahua that'd be like, ha, ha, ha. That's how he was during that interview. But first, can we talk about this Shannon Sharp? Let me find a picture of him real quick and pull it. First of all, I know Shannon Sharp, he's a ex NFL player, right? And he has a podcast called Shay Shay something, right? Which I find to be kind of sus. But he strikes me as a dude that's sus. But that getup that he was wearing during the interview, okay, here it is. Let me that getup that he was wearing during the interview, I thought it was a little inappropriate because it looked like they were pajamas. Let me share my screen and pull this up. I mean, I could see his nipples poking out and everything. Now, some of y'all women, y'all might like that look where a man is, wearing form-fitting clothes and shit and letting it all hang out. But me personally, I don't really like that look when a man does that. It's like, yeah, I know you got body. Oh, he's a Cancer? I didn't know. because I haven't really checked him out. And it's like, I know you got a body, but damn, do you always have to show it off like that? So it makes me think that he is a bit of an exhibitionist. So here he go right here wearing that tight ass. It's tight, but it's comfortable at the same time. You see them nipples? But yeah. And then there was a part where he moved that book out the way and I could see some of his package. And I'm like, dude, that's not the right outfit to be wearing on some interview. You look like you're about to go to bed. But maybe that's what he had on his mind. I don't know. So Shannon Sharpe is a Cancer. Let me pull him up real quick. Let me see what his birthday is. Honestly, see, I don't want to say it, but I want to say it. But he's giving me straight power bottom vibes. Now, I know some of y'all just became familiar with that term with TD Jakes. Some of y'all may not know what a power bottom is, but Shannon Sharpe gives me like straight up power bottom vibes. Like he can take it. Like he likes it big. That's what I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's the vibe I get when I look at him. He likes them big and thick. All right, so let me see. So June 26, 1968. 26. Has he ever been married, y'all? Let me look at his personal life. Didn't he mention that he didn't ever want to get married? Okay, where is his personal life? I don't see nothing about his personal life. Was he ever married? Okay, so he's never been married. Well, at least he's not, faking the funk. At least he's keep staying true to himself. You said watch Shannon. You said watch Shannon and Kirk Franklin interview. I saw tension, but I felt that energy was coming from Kirk. Sexual tension? Is that what you were picking up on? Because we know how Kirk Franklin get down. Yeah, but there's a lot of dudes in the NFL like Shannon Sharpe. Okay, so he was married. Hey, Queen Dara D. All right, so for those of you who have saw, if you saw the Katt Williams interview, press 1. I'm gonna press 1 too because I saw it. I saw most of it. I tried to get through most of it, but I have to admit, Katt's voice is very annoying to me. He has that sugary, sweet voice that has a little bit of the lisp in there too, and it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. So it was hard to get through, but I tried to get through most of it. Oh, you heard my you heard my cup. I'm drinking a Mr. Pibb. Do you know what Mr. Pibb is? I went to the Habit to get some food, and I still got some of my soda left over. Yeah, okay, so most of y'all have seen the interview. And a lot of people are bigging up Katt Williams because they're saying, oh, he told the truth. He's exposing all these people in the industry and stuff. But honestly, with the portion that I saw, I didn't see much exposing going. Like, a lot of this stuff we already knew, I feel like. What I didn't know, I'll say the things that I didn't know. I didn't know that he basically was saying that Cedric the Entertainer stole one of his comedy acts. And I saw both. I saw the one that Katt Williams did, and then I saw the one that Cedric the Entertainer did. The thing is, I knew of the Cedric the Entertainer skit where he was acting like he's on a spaceship and stuff like that. I always thought that was funny. That's from the Kings of Comedy. I had never seen the Katt Williams skit where he's acting like he's driving a car. So when I saw the one with Katt Williams, I was like, okay, I can see how Katt is saying that Cedric stole from him because they're both sitting in the chair. They're both very animated, acting like they're driving this vehicle. But that's as far as it goes in terms of the uh, imitation. Cedric the Entertainer's, wait a minute, what is going on? Oh, because Cedric the Entertainer's skit was much more elaborate, and to me, it was funnier too. But he tried to claim that Cedric's not funny. He was basically saying the whole world thinks Cedric's not funny. And I disagree. I think Cedric the Entertainer is very funny. I think that he's funny in terms of acting on shows like when he was what show was that? The Steve Harvey show. But he's also funny with stand up. I thought he was one of the funniest kings of comedy back when that came out. Now, Katt Williams. I think Katt Williams is very funny. I think his stand up is funny. The only movie I saw him in was Friday After Next. I thought he was hilarious in Friday After Next. So I'm going to give Katt Williams his props before I go in hard on him. So I will admit, yes, Katt Williams is funny as hell. I will say he is one of the funniest comedians in terms of our modern days and times. But can he really translate over into the screen well? We know he did with Friday After Next playing Money Mike, the pimp. But I don't think his range of acting is that great. And I know he's been in some other movies, but nothing as big as Friday After Next. So I think part of Katt Williams' problem is that he hasn't crossed over into the mainstream like some of these other comedians have, namely Kevin Hart. Cedric the Entertainer, he really hasn't crossed over into the mainstream either, except for when he was on the Steve Harvey show. But Katt Williams, if you think about it, he's really in a box in terms of his fan base. I would say his fan base is predominantly black, whereas somebody like Kevin Hart, he's attracting a fan base of all races, basically, and that could be a problem. Now, I agree with Katt in that Kevin Hart's not really funny. I don't think I ever seen a whole stand-up routine that Kevin Hart has done. But I will say Kevin Hart has better acting talent than Katt Williams. Like, Kevin Hart is more versatile when it comes to acting in movies. So I think that's where Kevin Hart has Katt Williams beat. Kevin Hart probably also knows how to cooperate with others more so than what's Katt Williams. You know, when you're in the industry, you got to know how to play the game. You can't be going up against people every time you get butthurt about something, or every time you think somebody has snubbed you or made a snide remark or whatever like that. And that's one of Virgo's biggest problems. They don't know how to just keep things quiet and stay in their lane and do what they need to do in order to continue to move up. Now, Kevin Hart is a Cancer, and you know, Cancer is very receptive. Cancer is very inviting, very much about, you know, I'm trying to eat. So I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure that I can continue to eat. But Katt Williams don't see it that way, especially with what's in his chart. So I will be getting into some of the aspects of Katt Williams' chart that explains why he's rather difficult, and also explains why he's come out against some of these other comedians. And it wasn't just comedians, it was some other people too that he was basically going hard on. I think he took it too far when he was calling them bums. Also when he was going in on oh man, I wish I could remember some of what he was saying. He was going in on not Cedric. He went in on Cedric, but it was another guy. Was it Faison Love? He went in on Ludacris too. I remember seeing that part. Thank you, Crystal. So Ludacris basically sold his soul because that's how he got the Fast and the Furious. And I'm just like, I don't know about all that. But again, and Ludacris is a Virgo just like Katt Williams. But Ludacris is a better actor than Katt Williams, I would say. I feel like the only role that Katt Williams can really play is like that pimp-like role. I really don't think he has that range that's good for being an actor, and that can be why he hasn't gotten these movie deals like other comedians have. Then he went in on Steve Harvey, yes. Now that's the interesting thing about Steve Harvey. And this is dealing with this Thor's hammer and Katt Williams chart. So we might as well pull up his chart right now. So we could Chiron and also Jupiter and Neptune. And that Thor's hammer, first of all, Thor's hammers can result in a person being difficult. It can result in some drama, getting into some like problematic situations. A lot of times they're going to create problems for other people. A lot of times they might get into fights. They might do things that are outrageous, what have you. So that Thor's hammer that he has is basically dealing with what happened with Steve Harvey. So I saw the story today about how the beef with Steve Harvey and Katt Williams, they were on the same bill for a comedy show. And Katt Williams challenged Steve Harvey to a comedic battle, basically saying, let the best man win. Like, oh, the audio is breaking up? Shit. I was going to go live via Zoom, but then I was like, well, let me do StreamYard because I haven't done StreamYard in a minute. But I see why. Let me close some of these windows and hopefully that'll work. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, I got like 10 windows open. Maybe that's the issue. Hello? I might have to go on Zoom because the StreamYard is acting stupid. Let me close that out. Does it sound better? Okay, the audio got better. All right. So what I was saying is, so basically, Katt Williams challenged Steve Harvey to a comedic battle, and Steve wasn't having it. Steve was like, nah, we just gonna do our routines and we gonna keep it moving. Well, Katt, instead of agreeing like, okay, we're not gonna do that, when Katt got on stage, he ripped Steve Harvey a new one. He was even talking about Steve Harvey's lace front, like he was going in on him. And that's dealing with that Thor's hammer. The way he showed his ass during that interview is dealing with that Thor's hammer in his chart too, especially when you take into account Mercury. His Mercury in Leo is in the first house, which can make him very much about defending himself in terms of if he ever feels like his ego is being bruised. He's very much about trying to be the top contender, trying to be the top competitor. So if he feels like anybody is getting in his way or if anybody has taken his shine from him, he's going to come back with a vengeance. So that Thor's hammer has a lot to do with that, especially the fact that he has Mercury squaring Jupiter in Scorpio. I could talk all day about this Mercury square Jupiter in Scorpio. Let me get to my list because I made a list, a 2-page long list. Let me just break down what this, and again, keep in mind that Mercury square Jupiter is part of that Thor's hammer aspect pattern in his chart. So it's basically dealing with what can make his life more difficult, especially some things that he brings on himself. Okay. So Mercury and Leo square Jupiter and Scorpio, speaking with disgust and vitriol, being controversial, dragging or trashing his competitors. With Mercury and Leo, that's him being in competition. Will throw you under the bus. Being vicious with his words. Being very vengeful, especially if his ego or top position is on the line. Again, because his Mercury is in the first house. Can't handle competition. Wants to murder or bury the competition. will play or fight dirty. And when in that comedy show where he was going in on Steve Harvey, he even said, he was like, I'm a little nigga, I fight dirty. That's that Mercury and Leo square Jupiter and Scorpio all day. Also, this can cause him to have OCD tendencies, mental disturbances, being plagued by demons. You could say his personal demons. Also points to him fighting that 17-year-old. Remember that? And jealous of more popular celebrities. So, Katt Williams, he comes across as being very confident, but at the end of the day, we know that he's a Virgo. But what gives him that confidence is the Mercury in Leo, and also he's a Leo rising. Is it still glitchy? Damn it. Something told me to go on Zoom. Y'all, I might need to close out and go on Zoom, y'all. If it's still glitchy, I'm going to have to transfer this to Zoom. Because StreamYard, I don't understand what's going on with StreamYard. But that's why I haven't been doing live streams on StreamYard, because it's real glitchy. Okay, you can hear me? Okay. As long as y'all can hear me. But like I was saying, so Katt Williams, he has his ascendant at the 18th degree of Leo. And I told y'all about that 18th degree. That 18 can play out as narcissism. Let me just pull up his chart again. So that 18 can play out as narcissism. And it can cause him to be extremely competitive, which, you know, can be a good thing in some respects. My bad. Let me go to extremely egotistical. Also, if you notice in an interview, he was referring to himself as a king. And that's that Leo rising combined with Mercury and Leo in the first house. Also, that 18th degree of Leo produces strong sexual overtones. And I know a lot of y'all aren't going to like what I have to say about the 18th degree of Leo as well, but it can play out as the abuse of children. Now, on one hand, you could say, okay, well, he did fight that 17-year-old, because that could be, okay, how that 18th degree of Leo is playing out. But let's not forget that Katt Williams, he adopted a bunch of kids. Oh, his Mars is in Aquarius. He adopted a bunch of kids. And there was a situation where he was being suspected of child endangerment. Was he 16 or 17-year-old? I heard he got into an altercation with an 18-year-old, but also a 17-year-old as well. But yeah, that 18th degree of Leo, I am seeing the abuse, Helen. I am seeing the potential that he was abused. So actually, we could go back to that Mercury square Jupiter, because I have something about that. So let me finish with that list. I need to have this more organized. And next thing you know, CPS is being called, and he's being accused of child endangerment. I found to be very telling about Katt Williams, and I do like to get a word in and trying to ask him questions and stuff like that. So one of the things that I did find interesting was that he mentioned that he left home at age 13. He has his nodes at the 13th degree. South node at the 13th degree of Leo, and that age 13 was very significant in his life. So he mentioned that his father This is horrible. StreamYard just kicked me out. Yeah, I'm thinking about switching to Zoom. I'm gonna switch to Zoom, y'all. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but StreamYard is acting real funky. Um, so let me, while I have y'all on here, I'm gonna set up the Zoom meeting. Give me a second, cause I can't even get deep into this like I want to with this StreamYard acting like this. Come on. I think what it is StreamYard takes up a lot of bandwidth, and because my laptop is kind of old, I don't have. Let's see. All right, y'all. Y'all should see another live come up in a minute. Well, I don't know if I could be live streaming on two different. All right, y'all. I'll be back in like, give me like 2 minutes. I'll be back. I'm gonna go live via Zoom because StreamYard is acting real stupid. All right, I'll be right back.